Good morning, everyone. My name is Oksana, and I welcome you at my little stitchy corner, which I called Crafts Journey. Today is 15th of August 2026, and to be honest, guys, I was just like, how did it happen that it is already the middle of the August? I remember, like last week, I was crying about that. The last months of summer started. I don't want a summer going away, and now it's already the middle of the month already, meaning like soon officially we are going to have calendar fall, which I don't want. I still want summer. Granted, I do know in Texas, here down south, I'm not quite south, but anyway, here I'm going to have summer still till November, okay? But knowing that officially it's fall and then you suddenly moving into the cold period of the year, and it feels like cold lasts forever, even though you already somewhere mid-April, beginning of May is already summer again. But I just don't want the cold period to start. That's what it is. Okay, so here's the thing. I have my photo cam. I'm sorry, it's not a photo cam, Oksana. It is a phone mounted on the photo cam stand, whatever. It's very old. It's falling apart, and the way how it is mounted, I'm worried it can flip somewhere mid video. So if that will happen, of course I will cut it out, but just expect that maybe this video may be weird. Anyway, so what I'm going to start with, my focus project for the August. This is Mill Hill Honeybee, and I think it should be this way. Yeah, all right. So let's take a look. Ta-da! This is how it looks like. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So I told you guys last time that before I spun the decision wheel, which gave me this project as a focus project, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, right? Somewhere that much. Yeah, middle of August, Oksana. Remember, 2 weeks. I told you guys that I was not planning this project to finish this year. I was planning to be for this project to become focus project for the next year. But when I span focus project for August, decision wheel, that was the decision. And I also told you last week that based on the amount of stitches left, I didn't know if I'll have to stitch it into the September, knowing that I usually add 1,000 stitches a week for the project, and I had almost 3,000 left. Actually, yeah, about that much. And to be honest, what's interesting, it was not like last week 3,000 left, but I think last week it was 23. No, it was not 20. I don't remember. It was like 2,000 something. So I sat down this week. I was stitching it, and you know what? Right now what you see, I finished all full stitches. Floss stitches, let's call it this way. Everything what's left here is backstitch and beads. But what's interesting that before I put it away, I left, I didn't fill it in. I didn't finish. It was like I was already like 1,100 stitches in, and I was slightly tired, and I wanted to put it away till the next week. But I had to fill in like 150 stitches of the same color. I even didn't need to do any color change or whatsoever. Just like the same color, 150 stitches just to fill in the corner, and that's it. And I was looking at that corner and I was like, Oksana, do you really want to put to the next week that many stitches if you can just start with the backstitch and beads already? So yeah, I muscled through those 150 stitches. It was not, it was still enjoyable because I really enjoyed to stitch this yellowish orangey color. I was like the background, I think I enjoyed the most to stitch this honeycomb background. That was the most enjoyable part for me. I don't know why. There is more than 2 yellow colors, okay? There is like 3 or 4 yellow colors in the honeycomb. but I still was enjoying to stitching them. So I muscled through this. I finished that one. So for now, what you see, everything what is left is backstage on flowers. These blue bubbles are flowers. So once you will add backstitch, you will see they are what you call that button. What's the flower? The blue. I forgot the name of it. You will see it will look like a flower next time, and I will start on the beads. Technically, when I was looking in Saga, everything what's left on this project only, I mean, outside of backstitch, just beads, right? Usually beads do take slightly slower for me to stitch, to attach, or how you sew. What you do is beading, stitching. What's the right word for that, right? Because when people, especially guys who are not in a cross stitch, when they look at cross stitch, they call it, oh, my girlfriend is sewing. Like, no, she's not sewing, she's cross stitching. They always call it sewing. So that's when it comes to beading, I'm like, I know that beading, but how you count them, what you call it, just beading, stitching, attaching, I don't know. So anyway, I have a little bit less than 1,000 left together with the backstitch. So when I look in Saga, right, it says like 900 something left. And usually, what I said, like with beading, even though it takes slower for me, I'm still trying to add a little, like attach, sew, stitch, what you call like 500 beads, right, when you do that. So I still try to do my norm, right? My norm is around like 500-ish plus maybe, or 500 a day for the project. And I look in Saga, it calculates for me, it recalculates backstitching and other stuff, and French knots, long stitches, like it recalculates everything in full stitches. So you can at least say how many cross stitches you did. So Saga shows me I left slightly less than 1,000. It's like 900 something, which means technically, why I'm talking about it so much, technically, this upcoming week when I will take it, I should finish it. So next week, this project should be done. And I thought that I might actually move it into the September, maybe because of how many stitches were left at the beginning of the month. But I think just because this week I really added a lot on this project. It's just like, let me see. I'm going to take my tablet and I'm going to take a look. We can take a look together, maybe. Okay, let's take a look. Where is it? I'm having a little bit of... So I added 1,500 this week. So it is a lot. Yeah. Oh, I thought I needed like 900. I actually need 893.5 stitches left. So this is the number we are looking at. So, which means like I should be done within this week. And everything was left. And I want to show you which flowers I'm talking. These blue flowers, you will see they are flowers once I will add the backstage. And of course, you will better see the bees' wings. Actually, it will be finished. What I'm talking actually, bee will be looking like a bee. Yeah, actually, the whole project will be finished and we will see the results of it. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this project for right now. And let's move to the next project, which I was teaching. My summer wheel gave me... Next project was my multi-seasonal project, long dog samplers, Opus Magnuson. Hopefully pronounce it correctly. Okay, I'm trying to put a fabric in a way so you can see the whole thing, because this is a big sheet of bedding. It's a bed sheet. So this is how it looks like right now. I think I told you guys last week that technically I'm going to focus right now on the black portion of the border. I'm still stitching the bottom border. Okay, it's like almost my hand, half of my hand size, the border only. And it's very tiny on the project on its own, on the preview. But anyway, I focused on the black portion of the border, and I told you guys that I would like to kind of do this back outlining for 2 octagons. So the next time I will start stitching, I will just fill in the octagons and this hourglass in betweens, right? Joints. I didn't finish, as you may see, outlining this octagon. So next time when I will sit down, I will definitely finish it, because I think this portion was also somewhere on this level of, like last time when I took, it was partially stitched here. I do remember there was already something here. So when I was continuing this stuff, I would say like 1,000 stitches was not even like this is not 1,000 stitches. This is almost 2,000 stitches, guys. So like a half of it is 1,000 stitches. So here is pretty much the same situation. I'm planning to next time when I will take it, of course, finish the outlining, which will be almost 1,000 stitches, because I will do here and probably will move into this element. And after that, I will be able finally to start filling in. Now, it may happen that the next time I will already start filling in, because this week when I was stitching, as you may see, I started this top row here, but I didn't close. It's just a half stitches right now, but I did not close it because I was planning to start going back, and because on the top, as you may see, there's little like indentation, not indentations, but like teeth, right? So usually I do them when I'm going back. Is it going fitting into the camera? Usually I'm doing when I'm like on my way back. So I was, the way how my nerge was in, it was not very comfortable. So I decided the next time I will pick this project pick up, I will start going in. But the problem is that this row of half stitches here is one thread. So I put one thread into the needle and I go this way. If I'll do the same, one thread is not going to close all the stitches, including these little teeth, because yeah, you need these little teeth. So I even don't know, I probably will be somewhere halfway through when the thread will finish, and then we'll do another one. The problem is that I really don't like to cut out like some leftovers of thread which are, let's say, not short enough to throw them away, not long enough to stitch something, right? You look at those orts sizes and you just like, well, I still can do about 5 stitches with that length. But when you look at this project and you just like, do I really want to do 5 stitches and then try to secure the thread and just bother myself with that? So I kind of have on my organizer, let me see, I'll show you. So just because there are that many colors, so I have like this on my organizer, right, parallel to these colors. I have this left over, so I have like this like thing, right, and it's as you may see, it's not short enough to throw it away, but not long enough to do a decent amount of stitches on this project. So I'm kind of putting it aside. I was like, I'll do it later. But when I was looking at this line on top, I was like, man, I'm going to have another tail to think about what to do with it, to do it later. But eventually I have to sit down and just really stitch them so they don't bother me on that organizer. So yeah, I was kind of concerned, like, technically I shouldn't worry about it, right? But I was just like, I really want to finish the whole thread and just don't worry about those long, not short enough orts. And anyway, okay, let's move to the other piece. So this bottom line, I told you guys that I was thinking maybe I'll start filling in with the color, but you know, I was stitching with this black thing and I was like, I really want to have 2 octagons to outline. And I know that this border will really help me then, you know, to see if I'm not miscounting, etc. Because you see, I'm not marking my fabric. Only the bottom line here, just to see that like every 10 blocks. After that, it's easier for me to navigate. So I decided, you know what, let me just do black. So the whole week I was doing with the black color for 2 days, right? So definitely next time I am going to continue here to finish the outline in the octagon. But as I said, just because I'm not planning to go further, because with this first octagon I had to go further because I was planning for the second one. But this one, I don't have to stitch all of these pieces, like the whole piece here. As long as I stitch the outline portion, it will be enough. That will be about that will be maybe around, not even 1,000 stitches, but I don't, it will be about 500 stitches approximately, right? Plus minus, I don't know. So now I will have two, next time I will have two outline octagons, and I will have to start to fill them in. So definitely I will start with the border. I'll try to fill it in, and usually I'm trying to think, how did I do last time? Did I do it in hands, or did I put it on the in the nerge? I don't remember. I don't do hand stitching in hand stitching because a stitch is very distorted, and probably the reason why I'm here thinking out loud, because I need to start from here. So it means like I need to put nerge like this. Well, that will be enough, because here the whole octagon to fill in, it will be almost 1,000 stitches here. And if I outline, yeah, I think I should be fine if I will put nerge like this, because I thought maybe I need to put it like this, but then this will be covered. And I don't like to move nerges within the same day a couple of times. So anyway, I'm talking too much about just some black outlining border, and there is nothing else going on. The only one thing which I want to say, I think, was it like here? No, give me a second. I'll tell you, like, yeah, so I was right. So on this line here is the middle of the row. Is the middle of the row. I just cannot wait until the whole row will be done, because the next portion of it, there is something in it, right? There is like bigger variety, different pictures, because a border is like same thing over and over and over again. That's why I know a lot of people don't like stitching borders, unless, I don't know, unless the border is something interesting. But anyway, I stitched modern folk embroidery no time like the present. I hated the border. I hated the border, but I hated it because I was stitching, well, I did, granted, project looks beautiful, okay? But I just made more pain for myself. I made it really more painful than it should be. Even though I knew what I'm doing, I knew that it will be painful, but it was worth it. I was stitching the whole project, Rainbow Gallery metallic, 2-ply, 2/2. So you can imagine why the border was extremely painful, because it was painful, okay? But the project is worth it. That way it was really worth it. Okay, now, usually during the week, I'm taking 3 projects. I'm showing you 3 projects. This time you're going to see 4 projects, because one of them I'm kind of like ready to show. It's not finished, but I'm showing you that project every 2,000 stitches. So I did already my 2,000 stitches on it for the past month and a half, I think, and it's ready to be shown. But before I'll do that, I'm going to show you the 3rd project, which I took this week because I had 2 extra days to stitch. And that was a project which called Mackerel by Jane Netley Mayhew. This is a project from this book, this wildlife book, Animal Collection. And it's a very pretty one, but this is this one, Mackerel, this project. The chart is here. I'm not worried that you will see it, because the chart is really difficult to read, because you know, like sometimes in books or journals they may have a block of color, there is no symbol in it. And when you try to understand, sometimes it will have two similar, like very alike looking like blocks without symbols next to each other, and you're trying to define like to which color it belongs to here, to which block. I wish all of them will have symbols, but they don't, and sometimes it's really hard to understand which shade am I looking at, especially if you're trying to look at it in the evening. So that's pretty difficult. I made Saga on it. I did some modifications to Saga, to chart, I'm sorry. So it's not exactly like that, but it was difficult to make. But anyway, this is how it looks like right now. It's a project. I would say probably, if I'm not going to count, let's discard the possibility that that my mega wheel will give it to me, right? I never count on that. It's a possible finish for 2020. So the 7, 8, 9, 29. Because when I pick it up, I think I had like 7,000 still left before I picked up. So now it is, I think, 6,000 something left. Let's take a look. Yeah, 6,200 left. So if I'll take it once a year and give it 1,000 stitches, so for it to become a focus project, which is 4,000 or less, I need 2 more years. And on a third year, it will become a focus project. That year is 2029. Unless my mega wheel will give it to me, that will come closer. The finish line will come way much closer. But I'm not counting on that. So this is a possible finish of 2029. Thank God, but it is pretty old project. I'm not stitching a lot on it. As I said, it's a little bit become surprisingly slightly more difficult than I thought. There is very often a lot of color change. It doesn't look like that, but there is. Oh, I need to cough. Give me a second. And maybe with the preview, you're not going to see a big difference. I added like 1,100, but the problem, it's not the problem. Most of them, the first day, almost 500 stitches were like, there were a lot of white. I don't see if you see it in here between my parked stuff. There were a lot of white in here. Then fish, as you may see, just because it goes diagonal, it has like white strips. You stitch them. So I had to finish white here, here, and it was just like, you know, only white left, like one little strip of line left. And when you try to compare it with the preview, the white like strips which were on the preview, they were not stitched, but you stitch them with white. It's like technically visually nothing changed, because it was white before and now it's white after, but well, there is the difference is just now it's stitched. So that's why, and just because there is like a belly of another fish, pretty big portion here is very light. That's why a lot of white went in here too. And as I said, the first day it was around 450 color, stitches was white. And then the next day I was stitching like a pale yellow, yellowish, some pale greenish. It was like 646 and 647, like those two colors in here. They look dark on this, like as a skein, but when you stitch them, it's not like extremely light comparing to more darker piece of the fish. Pretty much I was stitching light pieces. Right now I am focusing on the light portion of it, because those colors which when there is a block of diagonal color, it's like 30 or 40 stitches you need to do before you secure, and then you move to the next block, which is maybe 30 stitches away, for example, right? Or 20 stitches away. To not drag my floss that far, I'm securing and then starting new block somewhere else. And usually these light colors are like that. They are less on the picture than darker one. So I decided, you know what, I will stage those light first and then we'll fill in with the darker. Even though, guys, usually I prefer to go the other way around. When I have to stage color on color a lot, what I'm trying usually to do to stage to go from darker to lighter. Because when you go from darker to lighter, you already outlining your light areas with darker colors, and you are not prone to make that many mistakes, because now you need to fill in what's left with the lighter color. If you do the other way around, from lighter to darker, you may not see that this block was already staged, and you can cover by mistake with different color on top of the light stage. That happened to me with the Lucas. I remember I was staging Lucas composition with mushrooms. No, still life with mushrooms. Beautiful project, amazing. But I found out that I made a couple of mistakes just because I staged on top of an already staged area, because it was color on color. And when I start doing my method like from darker to lighter on that project, I stopped having mistakes. Maybe I did one or two, but I stopped, like, in general, making mistakes there. Here, and actually every single project after that, I do the same way. I'm staging from darker to lighter. Even when I staged Lucas composition with cherry, that's the correct name, and I have it in my spring video, I also did exactly the same. I did from darker to lighter. Here, I also tried to do it, but just because this piece of project somehow ended up to be a lot of, like, a big piece of, it's like this. You see like a big piece, chunk of like very light colors in here. There's white, a lot of pale yellow, slightly darker yellow, two colors of like pale violet and more darker violet, and then that 646 DMC 646. So this is in one block in here. So this fish here is pretty much the same way. So there is like big belly here, and somewhere here there's a lot of white on this side. I saw it, and I think my lightening was pretty good. My light was not lightening, but my light was pretty good, and I was technically decided I'll do all white, because when I start filling in this diagonal here, which left, right, with the white, I was like, I really didn't enjoy it. I was like upset because I could not technically find, like, did I already station that hole? Am I starting with the right hole? And then I would try to trace, oh no, I need to start actually way much lower than I thought I had to. And so I was searching where to start, because those single stitches which were not stitched with white was kind of like lost between, it was lost for me. So I decided, you know what, let me stitch with white here first, and then I will just stitch around darker. And I am going to say the current light, which I have a little bit better than what I had before in the past, and I was able to see this white stitches pretty good when I was stitching like with yellow and with darker colors. There was no problem for me to see. But usually, even with this good light, like when I was stitching Lucas composition with cherry, it was not the case. Now that project, as well as the still life with mushrooms from Lucas, I'm stitching on 20 count 1/1, and that's why if you have color on color, it's harder to see, because stitch is very tiny. And yes, even with the good light, it's harder to see did you stitch there already or not, especially if you're coming up with like different colors around. If something stitched around, you don't see it very well. That's why it's easier to go from darker to lighter, because then you are messing up with very light colors. And even if you do one or two mistakes here and there, it's like you stitching with white, the next color to it off-white, the next color of it quarter darker shade of white. So even if you made 3 mistakes in different spots, it doesn't change the picture, okay? Here it's a little bit more tricky to make, like if you do mistake in here, you will see the difference, right? If you will have some white spots somewhere like in the middle of, let's say, this back belly, not belly, I'm sorry, this like it's his head, it will be weird, even though it's very like crazy looking, like, so even if you will make white mistake somewhere here, you wouldn't see it. I had to undo on top here. I actually left it. I need to think about what to do. I didn't secure it. I made a mistake here on top with the dark color, surprisingly enough. I had to undo about like 8 stitches, not a big deal, but I made a mistake with this dark. What's the better, probably like here, better to show. Instead of stitching like 2 black stitches and then next row I stitched like 3, so I moved on 1 stitch to the left, and this is where I understood that actually the whole project here can like really distort the picture, because this is a black floss, not a white one, which like it can be okay because there is a lot of light right around it. With the black one, because it was a black color, I was like, okay, that will look definitely weird. So I had to undo there actually 2 colors, because another color was stitched based on that black one, which I already stitched, and it was also technically was in the wrong position, but there was like 2 stitches of that color. So that's why I have here this bunch of craziness going on, because I was thinking, like you see, right, I was thinking if I should continue undoing my stitches so I'll have a longer tail which I can secure, or leave that tail and somehow when I will stitch somewhere around here just to use my finger on the back like this, hold it, and just like sew it on the back the way it is. Like I don't care if it's straight or it's going to crazy look, just to fill it in as long as it's like securing. So I decided to go that way because I really didn't want to sit down and undo here, really didn't. Anyway, yeah, right now you see a lot of parked stuff, but and here is the middle line. You may see the crease. This is the middle line. It's a very tiny project. I still love it. I'm still not sure if I will frame it or not, because in this book, Jane, she had, and I think I showed, let me see. She had these turtles, pretty, and I think she decorated. I just want to show you. So she has this. Man, this is pretty. I'm looking at all these projects here. I was like, I would stitch them all, to be honest. Look at this. Cougar. Look at this little guy. What it says, forest creature. What's this? What's the animal? Okay, it doesn't matter. You can do a sampler. So she has all these pictures separately, and I think she has them all together as a sampler. So you can do that. So you have like these little birds. Where is that? I want to show you. These guys. Ow. Oh, this is like a sampler. I'll show you that one. These, ow. Zebra. Oh, look at this rhinoceros. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Lemur. Where is that? This lion. I actually like this lion too. Oh, I see. Where is it? Okay, let me see. Do I have like like I didn't show you that, but she has the whole sampler like this, all these pictures in one design, but you can take each of them and stitch separately. Like you make a small elephant. There was, I showed you separately zebra, separately lion. So she put them together. But yeah, so these turtles here, I showed you these turtles, right? She put them as a pincushion on the box. I don't have a box, but I really like it as a pincushion. So when I was looking at this mackerel, I was like, that could be really cool pincushion, but I don't have a box. And I also want, let me go further. So I really want to stitch this whale, and these are beads. These bubbles are beads. Man, this is so cool. Yes, so this is another one which I wanted to show. So she on her chart, I'm not going to show the chart. Isn't like, yeah. So on her chart, which is on the next page, she puts a marker showing that if you will take this strip of the chart and stitch it, it will be like this. You can stitch it on the towel, and the same with the turtle. So if you want to add it to your towel, even on her, already on her chart, she tells you which area you can take out and stitch for this to happen. So you don't have to think it yourself how to do it. She already thought of it for you. So you have it. So this is pretty cool. I will be honest, when I look at this mackerel, I don't know how about you guys, but I really love this fish. It's delicious fish. I love it. Every time I see it, I'm getting hungry, and I really, really would love to eat this fish. Unfortunately, I live in Texas, and this is a cold water fish. So yeah, I'm not going to have it, unfortunately. This, I think she has it as a sampler. Yes, she does. So she has it as a sampler, all of these, but she also has them separately. And I really like this as a sampler too. So now you see she has like separately orca, killer whale. I don't want to show you the chart of a sampler. Look at this wolf. Oh, beautiful. Here's the chart of the wolf. Look at these penguins. Man, as I said, all these projects I see here, they are so cool. I would love to stage them all. Look at that. I'm like, when the chart is hard to do. She has these colors similar to each other. Yeah, you see this wolf? Look at that. Maybe not on black, but something like modeling with the modeled like a night deep blue with the modeling around on it, hand dyed. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it will be better. Okay, this is whale. Yeah, and she actually, what's interesting about this book, I think she's a photographer, wildlife photographer, so she would go on the expeditions. I don't know if you call them expeditions, like she would travel around and she will make pictures of that, and she will write it in her books. She will write about all of this in this book. She actually has another book, I think with aquatic life, I think, or a different type of another animal collection. Anyway, so as I said, when I look at this one, I'm getting hungry, and I don't believe that this is a great idea to put it on the towel, because when I was looking at the towel and I see this mackerel, I feel like if I would have the towel, I would probably feel like I'm trying to use a towel which was inside of the cans of sardines, right? It's like, no, it's a food towel. But with turtles, it does look good. But I think this one, for me, it associates with food. And when I see that, I don't know, it feels greasy for me, because this fish actually is very fatty if you eat it. And it feels like greasy when I look on the towel, even though it's a clean towel. But I don't believe that exactly this project looks good, goes good with the towel. But as a pincushion, I do see it as a pincushion. Now I need to figure out how to do the pincushion, and I need to buy a box for the with this size that I can fit it in, right? So probably not going to happen, but I do like the project. And I showed you there are a ton of projects which I like, but when? At least I picked the one which is like the most, right? Like it hits my heart 100%, and I'm doing it. So what I want to say that, I forgot to actually bring the fourth project. I thought I was prepared, of course. Oh, guys, I hope you can hear me because I went into the closet to pick it up. So what I want to say with this mackerel is that, give me a second, maybe slightly loud. This was the last summer project in my summer wheel, which I still didn't have a chance to stage. So my summer wheel didn't like give it to me yet. It still can. When I was looking in my summer wheel, I still have like four. You know what? Why wouldn't we look together? Why don't we look together? Where is my decision wheel? Not 4, it's more than 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 more projects which my decision wheel needs to choose from. Some of them I already took. As you may see, even though my decision wheel didn't give it to me yet, some of them I already took. As of right now, I know that every single project from this list here, whole list, including the ones which already erased, I already staged. I don't have a single summer project which I didn't put some stitches in. As you see, I still have 2 mirabilias didn't show up on the wheel yet for me, but I already stitched them because I told you when in June, when we had summer solstice and we had that old Slavic holiday, Ivana Kupala, they go next to each other. Those 2 holidays go one after another. I had 2 projects dedicated to those holidays, so I took them during that period of time. And I remember telling you guys how I was tweaking my mega wheel weeks around that because I really want holiday projects which I started on specific holidays stitched during those holidays, keep stitching into stitching those holidays into those projects. So I'm not worried about these 2. So technically mackerel was the only one project which was like, oh my gosh, this August is coming, is almost like here, and I still didn't take this project yet. So now I'm really happy that nothing's left behind. So it doesn't matter what my wheel will give it to me. I already know that all projects are. Actually, if Mill Hill will come up, I will respin it. Because it's already a focus project, but other than that, without Mill Hill, 1, 2, 3, 4, so I was pretty much correct. But that being said, knowing that I still had 4 projects left, right, I was thinking if my decision to keep 12 projects on every seasonal wheel is too much. Because it's almost the end of the August, and technically if I wouldn't have this tweaking around these particular projects, right, I would end up with some projects which are not being given by the decision wheel. But I think I will still go by number 12 projects within a seasonal wheel, because it's not like I take one project and stitch it the whole week, right? I take a couple. So I think that it feels like I have enough. We will see. I'm going to keep 12. I will see how it will go next year. I'm going to talk about all my plans around how I'm going to organize this decision wheels at the end of the year, because I don't want to spend this time. I don't want to spend this time on this. Okay, let me take it away because I still have one project to show. And I think I'm going to talk about that quite a bit if needed. But anyway, for now, even though it doesn't show that they're still showing 4 projects not taking, all of them were taken, okay? All of them. This was my final one, which was begging to be like, give me a little bit of love. I did. Now I can breathe. I don't have a single project which is being forgotten, right? So by the end of the year, I will be like congratulating myself that I didn't miss anything. Okay, so now let's take a look at the final project, which is ready to be shown. Every 2,000 stitches, I'm showing you my Saturday project. Currently it is Dimensions Gold Collection Holiday Village. And I'm probably going to repeat it quite often just because I dedicate to each project 2 days. I'm trying to give 1,000 stitches a week on a project. I can take during the week only 3 projects, 6 days, but then I have 1 extra day. I can do whatever I want. Last year experiment was really good and gave really positive, like extremely unexpected good results. When I had a Saturday project, it was a project which I would take only 1 day a week and will give it 500 stitches. And I'm not taking like another day, the 8th day, and then all my calculation gets like moved in. No, it's not happening. I take it only 1 time a week, 1 day a week, excluding my mega wheel weeks. So technically, if we have like 52 weeks in a year, so I dedicate 40 weeks for this project, unless my wheel, let's say in spring, my mega wheel gave this project to me, and I spent the whole week on like 4 days on this project, okay? So unless that happens, other than that, it's just 40 weeks dedicated to the project. And let me tell you guys, right now, including that mega wheel, what happened in May, this is how much it looks like right now. I don't know, I need to fit in a preview somewhere so you can see the difference. Oopsie daisy. Give me a second. Like this. So, current state of this project is, you wouldn't believe it, guys. You may say, wow, that's a lot, but for me, I expected a little bit, like a tiny tad more, but that didn't happen. I could make it, but I was just like, no. So currently what you see is 49.5%. It's not even 50% yet. I thought I will have 50% by today, but it's not. It's only 49.5%. Could I stitch slightly more, like over, to get it that 0.5%? Yes, I could, and say, hey, I'm at the equator. I could. Actually, the equator will be today because I'm going to stitch it today while I'm editing this video. But I was like, no, not going. I'm just looking how much right now. No, not 49.5, it's 49.18%, not even 49.5. So rounding to the lowest, just 49%, okay? So that's fine, that's okay. I started, just for the second, I started this, now I'm going to put it like maybe in the middle. I started this project, it migrated from the last year. I think I started this project last year on Christmas, maybe. I need to look. I already put away my tablet. And at the beginning of the year, on the 1st of January, it was only 1.2%, something that much, slightly over 1% done at the beginning of the year. Right now, it's 49%. So that's including that I had the mega wheel in spring gave it to me, so I sat 4 days with it, right? So technically, if I actually have in my spreadsheet calculation, which shows me how many percentage through the year I added on top of the existing one. So I calculate the difference, right? And I would say that maybe 45%. Oh, less, definitely more than 40%, but maybe let's say 43%, 44% was added. That's also excluding the mega wheel, right? Maybe around 43% was added through the year, through 8 months. It's a lot, especially if you feel like a gold collection dimensions takes forever to stitch, if you are not like swallowing them so fast, if you are a slower stitcher. You can see how big of a difference only 1 day a week, 40 weeks a year, not even 52, but 40 weeks a year, it can give it for you. You can finish such gold collection, and if you add 500 stitches, right, you can finish this gold collection within year and a half, maybe 2 years. I would say year and a half because it's only 8 months, right? And it's 49%. It's not the end of the year yet. I know I started this project with only 1%. It's the beginning of the year, but that's not that I started with 30%, right? It's 1%, it's nothing. So technically in 8 months, you did almost, you can do almost a half of the project, almost. Well, if you are not going to have mega weeks like me, you will have 50% by this time. It means that, yeah, it's not 6 months already, it's already 8 months, 50%. You need another 8 months to finish the project. So it's like 16 months, it's not even a year and a half, it's less than that, just to finish the project. If you just dedicate 1 day a week, 500 stitches on it every single week, boom, you have a gold collection done in less than a year and a half. I'm sorry, if you saw that mackerel which I was stitching, that one is probably going to last for 7 or 8 years. I've been stitching that. Like I don't know, I don't think it's that much, but I think I started it like maybe 2023, 2024, I guess. And it's a possible project of finish of 2029. Guys, I staged the tiniest project longer than gold collection. Can I do the same with the other projects? Yes, I can. But just because I have a lot of dimensions in my boxes in the closet, and I want to stitch all of them, I had to come up with some method to speed up my process on those projects. So that's why I'm not going to change anything right now. So this project is going to be, I'm going to keep stitching it until it's done, and I will pick up the next one. I have another gold collection started this summer, so probably that one, or by the time I finish this one, I may have another gold collection started again, and I will decide which one I will make a Saturday project. And no, I'm not going to make like, oh, this Saturday, this gold collection, next Saturday, that gold collection. No, then it will stretch the finish of one project longer. And I would rather to, I don't have that many frames, right, to put them on. And I'm not going to take it, like switch these projects. It's too much work. So, but it's easier for me to keep stitching every single Saturday on one project, finish it, and put on this frame another project. Can I buy more frames? Yes, I can, but it's kind of like you need to pick and choose either materials to your charts, like mirabilias, lavender laces, and other stuff, or frames, right? So you have to pick and choose and budget for that. So for now, frames are not very budgeted very well, but materials are. And okay, I'm not talking about this project a lot. So I finished the backstage on the snowman and 2 kids. These unknown blobs. Am I recording? I had some blip going on. I hope the audio is still on. I finished backstitching here. These blobs, there were 2 kids, and another blob was a snowman. So now you can see snowman and kids. I also added backstitch here, so this is like an entrance to the next house. And of course, I was stitching pretty much this Christmas tree. I started on the next house here, and I keep stitching Christmas tree. It's not like a lot. I finally finished backstitch here, which I wanted to do, and I told you guys that technically I had quite a bit finished, like a stitch, like the big portion, and I was thinking, should I like roll my project a little bit more, but just because this backstitch was not done here yet, I was like, and how much, if I will roll, how much I can roll like this. There is no point to roll like quarter of an inch. I would rather roll quite a bit portion of it. So I was keep stitching with the same area, finished backstitch on the snow, and of course, as you may see, a little bit of different little pine trees, Christmas trees, conifer trees, let's say, and there is another big Christmas tree is slowly growing. So now, from today, just remember how it's looking like today, because today I'm going to roll this project, and I'm going to roll almost a half of it, quite a bit. So next time, if you are going to see it, that will be the end of the summer. I'm not going to unroll it. I'm not. At the end of the year, when I'm doing a year overview, yes, I'm unrolling all my projects just to show you the results. But during the year, I'm not, just because I hate to do these sides and rolls and all of it. I just hate to do it because this here, I'm stitching in to the fabric. So I need to undo this, undo sides, then undo this, from both sides, roll, right? Rolling is not a problem, roll. But then I need to stitch this back, do this sides back. That is annoying. That takes a lot of time, so I don't like to do it. During the year, I'm showing you rolled up things, projects. At the end of the year, yes, I'm rolling out, showing the whole thing together. But next time, just because summer is almost ended, right? Next week, I'm going to spin mega wheel, okay? So this upcoming week is still normal week, but next weekend, after the next weekend, it will be the full last week of the month, which is my mega wheel week. So we're going to spin that. I'm not going to take this project. So only today I'm taking this project, and actually next Saturday too. So technically, at the end of the August, when I'm going to do the overview of my summer, this will be rolled, like it will have only 1,000 stitches, and will be rolled up like this probably. You're not going to see a lot of stuff. But it's not 2,000 stitches, but again, it's a summary. But I will try to make pictures, you know, like to show you how it was before I rolled up, but it is what it is. Anyway, so let me pause you guys, and I will bring decision wheel, a summer decision wheel. We are going to spin a regular decision wheel. We'll see what kind of a project I'm going to stitch for 2 days next week. Okay, as I told you guys, just because this is Mill Hill Honeybee, I'm already stitching it. It's my focus project for the August. I'm going to respin it, and we will see what's the next one. Somehow I forgot to press record button, and I thought I did. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was double tap. It didn't record, but my next project, which was Pan, was Jane Netley Mayhew Mackerel, which you just saw. Well, I don't know how it happened, but it is what it is. I'm not going to respin it, which is, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy. This means that, so this is the project. I'm not going to put a preview because you just saw it, which means like, okay, this probably will bring the finish line of this project in 2028, not 2029, because now will be 1 year closer, which is amazing. Again, this is the worst case scenario in 2020. I mean, worst case scenario can be like even longer, but the best case scenario right now is second best is 2028, unless I will have it like Mega Wheel will give it to me, you know, Focus Wheel will next summer will give it to me, for example, right? This means like it will be even sooner, but I'm not counting on that. So right now I'm just brought up the finish line on 1 year earlier, which I'm really happy about. I will enjoy stitching it again. I'm really happy. Now I'm moving into slightly darker colors, and hopefully next time when I will show you, you are going to see a little bit more growth on this project. More fish showed up on the project. Okay guys, I think that will be it for today. I'm losing my voice. I still need to make another video, the same video on a different language. So I'm going to stop here. I will see you next week, and I wish you all the best and happy stitching. Bye bye.